Oh, great. I should have put it on.
Oh, sure. No one came? No?
Oh, yes. Should I put them in?
I have already sent you, but the thing is that I cannot send, edit the PDF and these things. I've already scanned it and sent it.
Scan it and send it to
That
me.
I've already sent it.
So I don't understand because
I can show
she
you.
may have made a mistake. Let me see. Where did you send it?
MUC.
You send it to Riz or you send it to me?
Riz.
So she may have just made a mistake. Ignite course completion 11 a.m. You just did this?
Yes.
Like this morning?
No, I resent it. I have sent it.
Please find Ignite certificate. Send the first 2 pages. She said she'd only got the first page. I've attached the form, first 2 pages. Oh, this is just happening. So she didn't get all 3 pages. She just got the first page. That's the whole issue.
She didn't get, okay, so do you want me to send all 3
Yes.
pages of this?
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay.
We'll get it straightened out.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Instagram from the group?
Okay, are we ready? Hello. Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy Lunar New Year. All right, let's get started for today's meeting. By the way, Aziz from Oakland is with us today, so I want to give a shout out to him. He handles the commercial department. All right, so let's start. As always, let's start with something. Tell me something good, something that you guys want, like appreciation on, something good that happened last week. Anything? Well, I'll start. I want to thank Harshita and Victoria and also Debbie for putting together the Valentine's Day celebration last week. It was very successful. We had a lot of fun. For those of you that missed it, we had a little runway show, lots of cheering, and with lots of food. Anybody else? Huh?
And fun.
And fun. We played bingo. We won Starbucks cards. You know, just had a great conversation. So join us next time. We have our Lunar New Year celebration this Friday as well. Oh yeah, it's a potluck. I'll give you more information. And this week Sunday is our family reunion for those of you that are going. For those of you that's not, I encourage you, there's still some time to sign up. However, once we come back, I will be sharing all the details that we'll be learning at family reunion so that we can all grow together.
I think I have an online version also this month.
Oh yeah, they do. I think so. For those of you who can't go but would still like to attend some of the sessions, they do have an online version. So it'll be on Zoom and you'll be listening in on everything.
So are we getting access to that?
I believe so. If you can,
I'll let you
yeah,
check.
Harshita will check into it and
And
send that
if we
information
have
out.
that, I will send email to you all. We can only put it here. Do not ask me link to be shared and then you be at your home. That we cannot do.
Yeah. Well, we could probably schedule some type of watch party. Either we figure it out before we go, or after we come back, we just pick out the pieces that we like and then do a replay for everyone. For those of you that had signed up for Bold, unfortunately, it has been canceled for this round. But there will be another Bold later on in the future. I think this round, what happened was they just didn't have enough time to get the word out. So it was not enough participants. However, usually they roll it out a lot earlier, and we have more, we know in advance to get more people engaged and more participation. Usually it's like, I want to say one giant room full of agents from all over KW offices. So I've even met agents from out of state that flies in to attend this. So I think this time, because they had such short notice, they weren't able to put it together with enough participants. So unfortunately, it is canceled. So for whoever that did sign up for tomorrow, please do not go tomorrow. We will have our award ceremony and top agent panel on April 7th. The Tuesday, which is the same time as our meeting. We'll roll it all into one. There will also be lunch that's provided, because we all love food.
Please RSVP.
Yes. Does anybody know what the parental principle is? Have you heard of it? I know Stephen has, so I'm not going to call on you.
Is that the 80-20?
Yes. Yes. We talk about it here all the time, and it is the 80-20 rule. Does anyone want to share what does that actually mean to you?
So 80%, 20% of work which actually leads to the business. So like the profitable one, and 80% is the chunk which we keep on doing. So we need to prioritize that 20% of the things which we need to give the result we want to see.
Yes, absolutely. And this rule actually applies to all aspects of your life. So in terms of applying it to real estate, what do you feel is your 20%?
Lead generation.
Lead generation. And how many, in your minds, how many hours do you feel you actually need to lead generate to be successful?
3 hours every day. 15 hours a week.
15 hours every day?
Yeah, a week.
Oh. Whoa. 15 hours every week. Anybody else?
Not sure.
You guys are gonna be very surprised by this number. To be a very successful agent, all you have to do, and it does not mean that you cannot go more, but just hit this minimum amount, you will be very successful. It is just 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day. And how many of you are actually doing that?
They are doing 1 hour a day.
Consistently.
They are reporting
Consistently.
5 hours a week,
Yeah.
most of them.
And this doesn't just apply, doesn't apply to just new agents. This applies to every agent at every single level.
I think for new agents, it has to be slightly more than for
Yes.
Yes,
seasoned agents.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
We teach them 15 hours for full-time agents.
yes. Listen to him. But for the purpose of just talking about the 80-20 rule, 1 hour a day is the minimum that you should be doing to be successful in real estate. And the unfortunate truth, how many agent actually follows that? The percentage is so low, it's in the single digits. So because of that, we're gonna go into our power hour that we're going to be
Where's
doing.
Manish? I was just emailing with Manish about this.
Okay, so I know it's hard to be in real estate as a solo agent. And one thing that we always avoid is lead gen. Steve, I know you're very successful, and everybody have heard about like what Steve does. What is he most consistent in? What are you most consistent in, Steve?
Touching my database.
Touching his database. So we get power and energy from everyone else. So for us to lead gen together, hopefully we'll bring more clarity in what we should say, taking action on what we need to do. So we are doing weekly scheduled power hour 4 times a week right now. And we may even make it into 5 times a week if time allows, if anybody wants to help lead that for the one day that we are missing. But every Monday from 10:30 to 11:30, It's gonna be led by Stephanie. We're gonna all lead gen together. Every Tuesday is gonna be 3 to 4. Tuesday schedule could change a little bit because I know sometimes Tuesday we have other trainings. So the 3 to 4, it's either 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, but it's going to be that day. We're gonna have 1 hour. Every Thursday is from 4 to 5, and every Friday is from 10 to 11.
Which Thursday? I thought it was from
3 to 4 is accountability meeting. So we talk about what we did for the week, and then as soon as we're done with the accountability meeting, we roll straight into lead gen. So what is considered lead gen?
Meaningful conversation with people.
Meaningful conversations with people. So to help you guys out on getting more motivated to lead gen, in our last meeting I talked about how we run monthly raffles. So how we're gonna run this raffle is every non-lead gen activity. So basically non-action plan. So office meeting attendance, non-income producing training outside of the PC program. So objection handling sessions. We will also be having a weekly objection handling session together once a week to go over any of objections that comes up along the way through conversations, through buyers, through sellers, any presentations that you give, and we'll practice the conversation on how to talk to people. Buyer consultations and listing presentations, and then also KPA validation sessions. Those all gives you 1 raffle ticket for the month. KPA is just 1 session though, so get that out of the way. For those of you, do you guys know what KPA is? So some of you have already done it. The KPA validation is a Keller Williams specific assessment about what your strengths and weaknesses are. It's a 10-minute long assessment. It asks you questions like that has nothing to do with your personality. It has everything to do like with 3D pictures, how you view things, etc. And then it's gonna tell us what type of, where are your strengths in? I know some of you has gone through it. Cynthia has gone through it. Do you want to tell us about how you felt during that validation session?
So I really thought I was gonna ask you like things that you like, don't like. It's just, the way it compounded it together and the results that I got was mind blowing because I'm like, how did it get that from the questions that it asked me? So it's diagrams or kind of like a Tetris type of questions. It has like a sentence and you have to fill in the blank and it times it. So I guess it's how you respond and how quickly you respond, which was really interesting. It blew my mind on how accurate it was.
And did it help you figure out what you actually enjoy doing?
Yes.
And so after our KPA session, we will come up with a coaching plan basically on how to move forward with your business, how to run your business, okay? And Scott's in that as well. We meet every week. And then the second part of the raffle is you get 2 raffle tickets for every income producing sessions. So that means it's the power hours. So for every power hour session that you attend, which has to be in person by the way, we're all gonna sit in this room and we're gonna call together, including me. And you get 2 raffle tickets. And at every first meeting of every month, we're gonna draw a winner, and the winner gets 1 month office fees waived. That's equivalent to about $200, $199. And every month we're gonna have a winner. So the more of these sessions you attend, the more raffle tickets you get. The more raffle tickets you get, the more chances you have to win.
And the winner will be only 1.
Only 1. So essentially, if you come to all 4 in a week, that's 8 tickets for that week. We have 4 weeks in a month. Now, if you're doing all of that, you're winning more than just $200. You're getting deals. You're connecting with your people, and you're just gonna win in real estate. That's where the true winning comes from. But what do you do at the actual power hour? So we don't want people to just hide on their phone and don't do anything, okay? So what counts is you have to be in person. Texting does count, but you need to be able to show text log. Because what I don't want is somebody come here, sitting here, text one text message and call it a day and waste the other hour away. Okay? Same thing with call logs. Or calling we could hear, so we could see that you're doing it, you're having conversations. Personalized individual emails. So it cannot be email campaigns. You can't be working on like holiday campaign cards, nothing like that. It has to be personalized emails that you send out. No bulk mailing. Handwritten cards and notes ready to be mailed out that day. So those are the things that will be counted during those power hours. We're also putting together, this is not ready yet because I am still working with BRLG to make sure that this is done correctly. But before we get to that step, I want to actually get a head count of any agent that are interested in being a showing agent for other veteran agents that are not available sometimes. Occasionally we're going on vacation and the client calls and need to open a door, right? And you know, there'll be a small monetary win for that for the showing agents. However, I do need to work that out with BRLG on how to set that up correctly. But if you are interested, please scan and then fill in your information. So at least we could get the ball rolling on that. Anybody else was taking that picture? You got it?
Yes.
Okay. And if you still need it, you could go talk to Harshita or Victoria at the front desk. This is our weekly schedule. We also have that at the front desk for a copy of it. This is for this week. And this is for next week. I will be gone until next Thursday. The accountability, the power hour will start as soon as I come back. So Friday the 27th will be our first power hour session. If you want to learn about how to master your listings, there is a listing mastery taught by Kyle Cross through 75 Thrive. You can sign up with that QR code on Thursday, February 19th. This is via Zoom, by the way. On February 20th, which is this Friday, we have home inspection training with Anton Nguyen. He's with Home Guard. And right after that, we're gonna roll into our Lunar New Year potluck. So bring your favorite food, showcase your cooking skills. I know Pat's really good. I hear a lot about Pat's.
My what?
Your cooking, your food.
Oh, okay. Well, it's very Minnesota-like.
And I hear good things, eh? We have a lunch and learn with Stephanie.
No, we don't.
Nope.
That is the Connor class
Oh.
to attend in Burlingame.
Oh,
next
okay.
Thursday.
That is next Thursday. Okay. Do you want to tell everybody what that is again?
This is a Connor class that's going to be held by Michael. He's going to be bringing in a condo kind of inspector there to talk about the details about condos. So if you do want to learn more, it is held in Peninsula at the Burlingame office. So if you are free, you can head over there. There should be a Zoom link as well if you can't make it there in person. I got to get that Zoom link.
Lunch will be provided if you
Yes.
do RSVP to go. My recommendation is to go if you're able to. Here's the reason why. I know it's a little bit far of a drive, but you know, outside of us meeting new clients, it's also us networking with other agents. Okay, I have a partner that's out of a different KW office who doesn't really do business on the East Bay side, but whenever he gets a listing, he always calls me and we go 50-50 on it. We work together. Okay, so every time you go out and you meet new agents, don't see them as it's just another agent. That could be your next referral partner. Especially if they're out of a different area. Okay, so meet as many of them as possible, which is why going to events like Family Reunion is very, very beneficial, because you get to meet agents from all over. Like I've met agents at KW office from I think Indonesia. They flew all the way here because they had a KW office open over there. and it's all about referral business. And in addition, you get to learn from them. You get to learn their struggles, what worked, what didn't work. So it's always beneficial to go to the different offices and meet new agents. You never know what kind of relationship that you can build.
Will they record that?
I'm not sure, I'm not sure, but there will be a Zoom, if you can't make it in person, and I'll get you that link.
Super cool, try seeing this right here.
Yeah. So, I'll try to get the Zoom, if you can't attend, maybe there's slides that I can share. And if there is a recording, then yes, I'll get that link, and then I'll send it to you guys.
Great. And then the advisors team is actually trying to put together more collaborative events as well. So as we do that, we'll be interchangeably going to each other's events as well. This is the
Down payment assistance programs for you guys that are interested in it to kind of gain more knowledge. Dream for All is coming up. 24th is the first registration period, and I think it closes on March 6th. So I'm bringing somebody in to talk about the requirements, the details of how to get your clients in if they're interested in applying for it.
And this doesn't apply just for it's because like some of you may say, oh, my client doesn't need this, or I don't have anyone that will qualify for this program. You're still going to get questions asked about it. It's a conversation piece. So regardless if your client qualifies for it, you may not qualify for any of the body that you work with, but because you know and understand what this is, and when they come to you and ask about it, you're able to at least answer the questions and send them to the right people. So it's highly recommended that you go, regardless.
This is an excellent marketing program for you. If you're looking for a piece to share with clients, either by email, by text, by whatever method, you leverage this. This is excellent.
It's a great conversation piece.
And it's not just for Dream for All. If they cannot qualify for Dream for All because there are income limits, there are requirements, right? If they don't fit into this, she's going to talk about other down payment assistance programs that is available, right? So if you do have those type of clients that are in that need, it's just education resources for you guys to reach your clients.
And then Greystone, should we have Stephen? You're hiding.
Boo.
All right.
Hi, everybody.
Morning.
Hello.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Yay.
I stayed in the city last night, and at 12, I was telling Stephanie, at 12:02 a.m., fireworks started happening. I was like, oh, right on time. Right on time. It was great. For those of you that I don't know, I'm Stephen Klein. I'm the managing partner of the Greystone Insurance Agency. We're an independent insurance agency, so as brokers, we still work with the insurance companies that are still writing new business in California. So if you or your clients are having trouble finding insurance, we're very much property insurance focused, but we do all things insurance: home, auto, umbrella, earthquake, flood, landlord, renters insurance, insurance for all kinds of businesses. We do all the insurance policies for the Market Center. So if you have any questions about that coverage, we can talk to you about that as well. I try to bring things of value every time I come in. If you want to, wait for it, Stephen, here it comes. If you want to scan this QR code right here, this will take you to an article in the Insurance Journal. I trust everyone's already read it this month. This article talks about how homeowners who are trying to rebuild after the Palisades and the Eaton fires from last year are discovering that they don't have enough insurance money to rebuild. It's a conversation that just sort of reminds you to do annual reviews, or your clients do annual reviews with your insurance company or your insurance broker. Oftentimes these policies have incremental coverage limit increases that are intended to keep up with inflation, but sometimes the cost to rebuild outpaces inflation, and over time people find that they're just underinsured. I think the statistic in this article said that many of the homes from the Palisades fires were underinsured by over $200,000, which is significant if you're trying to rebuild. It's also difficult to predict what the cost of material and labor is going to be when you're in a catastrophic event and everyone's bidding up all the contractors, right? So just something to be mindful of, and if you have any questions about what might be appropriate coverages for your homes, we're definitely here to help. One question that we get a lot, and I'm looking at you, Stephanie, one question that we get a lot from agents is, will the policy that you write for my client include fire insurance? Will it include fire protection? And so I just wanted to sort of give everyone a quick lesson, a quick TED Talk on insurance, and this is something that you can actually take with you into the field. Every insurance policy that is ever written, whether it's homeowners insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, business insurance, whatever it is, it's protecting the policyholder from perils. And perils are just covered causes of loss. Specific to property insurance, fire is what we call a basic peril. It's included in every policy. So any property insurance policy that we're going to write for you or for your clients is automatically going to include fire protection. There's a reason why the lenders choose to use the word fire protection rather than other terms that we use, like homeowners insurance. I mean, we just use them more as distinctions, right? Homeowners insurance, landlord insurance, condo insurance. All of those are types of fire policies. So if your client asks you if you think that you can get fire insurance for this property that they're considering, the answer is probably. And just as another reminder, the Department of Insurance requires that every home that is inhabitable is insurable. So as long as a home can be lived in, it is most likely can be insured. 99.9% of the time it can be insured. I can think of in my entire career 2 times that we could not insure a property. One of them, the home was missing a wall, and the other one was missing the roof.
So it's not, they can't live in it.
It's not inhabitable.
It's not inhabitable, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So, does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions? I prefer this as a dialogue. I'm happy to come up here and just vomit insurance stuff for 20 minutes. I can do it.
I have a question.
I love questions.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody know that in the San Ramon Danville area recently, there's been a lot of tiny little earthquakes. Okay, so it's stirred up a lot of conversation in that area, particularly in the condo and the townhouse communities. Okay, townhouse and condo communities have master's insurance, but that's paid by the HOA. They're all asking, should they still purchase earthquake insurance? Is it worth it?
Great question. Great question. So most HOAs, it's been my experience, don't have earthquake insurance because commercial earthquake insurance is very expensive. And when you're adding such a large cost onto HOAs, then sellers can't sell, then members of the association have a hard time selling their units because they've got $900 a month HOA fees, right? Do I have a couple of minutes to kind of get into the weeds? Okay. So I think statistically less than 20% of homes in California have earthquake insurance, but a disproportionately high number of Greystone condo clients have earthquake insurance for this reason. There's coverage in a condo insurance policy that's called loss assessment. As a member of an HOA, the HOA can make special assessments for a variety of reasons, right? But when a special assessment is related to an insurance loss, the assessment can actually be paid by the insurance policy. I happen to believe, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I happen to believe that we are infinitely more likely to have an assessment from an insurance-related assessment after an earthquake than any other type of insurance loss. And so in these policies, we write this loss assessment protection. The carriers that we work with for earthquake insurance will allow us to do $100,000 of loss assessment protection per unit, okay? So if you're in a 10-unit association and every unit owner has their own earthquake insurance policy, each with $100,000 of coverage, in effect, that association has purchased $1 million of earthquake insurance. Do you follow the math? Shake your head if you don't. I'll explain it a different way. Okay, that's great. So let's say our next significant seismic event, which is definitely coming, but hopefully doesn't destroy a lot of property and no lives are lost. But let's assume that in your HOA, you live in a building that's 10 units, and your building has $1 million of damage after the earthquake, and there's no earthquake insurance. What's the HOA going to do? they're gonna send each unit owner a bill for $100,000 so that everyone can participate equally to repair the building, right? If each unit owner has an earthquake insurance policy that has $100,000 of loss assessment protection, they're just gonna file that claim with their insurance company, and their insurance company's gonna pay that loss, or gonna pay that assessment, subject to whatever deductible is on the individual earthquake insurance policy. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Pat goes first.
Pat?
So let's say 20% have insurance and 80 don't.
Very fortunate 20% of the association, and a very unfortunate 80%.
What happens to the assessment? Do
You have to pay it.
the 20%? do
20%.
they- Because they would have.
Well, they pay it, they just pay it from insurance,
Through insurance.
Right, the insurance company's gonna pay it, yeah,
less the deductible.
yeah.
So the units that does not have that in coverage would have to pay out that.
Out of pocket, or possibly sell their unit and use their equity to do it, or take or take a loan, right?
They have.
Or, right, good luck selling a unit that's
But they
red
might be able to
tagged.
do a refi.
Or maybe they could do a cash out refi, Stephanie, with Stephanie, of course.
So, but wouldn't the HOA need the funding in order to rebuild?
Yep,
So if, let's say 80% of the community cannot afford it to have it rebuilt, and
Yep.
refinancing won't go through because of that?
yep.
It's a lien.
That's why a few of our clients have gotten their associations together, and for lack of a better word, all the members have colluded and decided that they all want earthquake insurance. They want to buy.
Collaborated.
What's that?
Collaborate.
Collaborated? What did I say?
Collude?
What did I say?
Collude is illegal.
Collusion's not illegal.
Okay, doesn't matter. They got together.
They collaborated. Isn't that what I said?
Different words.
Words. Okay, so Steve.
Collude, to cooperate in a secret and unlawful way. Cooperate, or collaborate is the word you want.
Collaborate is the word I
Yeah,
used.
yeah.
I could have sworn that's what I said.
That's what I heard, that's what I heard, yeah.
Thank you.
Is there a difference between getting earthquake insurance to cover your property and loss assessment?
Great question. So loss assessment is just a line of coverage in the earthquake policy. It also covers the dwelling, so everything inside the unit that you didn't bring in on a moving truck, right? So cabinets, flooring, countertops, walls in coverage. It also has a line for personal property. So typically after a significant earthquake, there's breakage in the kitchen, right? TVs fall off the walls, so there'd be coverage for that as well. And also, in my opinion, of equal importance is coverage for loss of use. So if the building gets red tagged and you can't live there, the earthquake insurance policy will still pay for you to live somewhere else. The question I get most often is, but I have a homeowner's policy, won't that do it?
No.
No, he's been paying attention, because earthquake coverage is excluded from all homeowners policies. That's why you have to have a separate policy. So the cause of loss is what determines which policy responds. Steve?
So in order to get loss assessment protection, you have to get earthquake insurance.
If you want to have loss assessment protection from an earthquake,
Correct.
you have to have earthquake insurance. That's exactly right.
Loss assessment protection is an additional coverage under an earthquake.
On the earthquake policy, yeah. The specific to condos, the lines of coverage on the condo policy practically mirror the lines of coverage on the primary fire policy. They're almost exactly the same.
I have a question.
Isn't this fun? Sure, it's pew, 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 pew.
Okay, so I feel like clients are gonna ask agents the most, and of course, what you wanna do, you wanna direct the questions to Stephen, but this is just for us to understand. I have a feeling a buyer will ask, or an owner will ask, well, what if I bought the insurance, but no one else in my complex bought it, and they can't afford to put in their money to rebuild, because if it's a condo or a townhouse, they all have to rebuild together. They can't just build your little unit,
Mhm.
right? Is that even beneficial for them? Like, how does that affect them?
I mean, it's a gamble, right? It's a gamble like that, but that's community living defined, right? Is that you live with people that have a similar but divergent interest in what you are doing, right? And sometimes everyone does the right thing, and sometimes everyone doesn't.
So does that mean if 90% are not taking the insurance, it does not make sense for 10% to take the insurance because it's not gonna work out? Because
I mean, for me personally, to spend, let's say, $1,500 or $1,800 a year, so let's say $150 a month, so that I don't have to pay $100,000 to the HOA, sounds like a good investment to me.
Yeah, but if they cannot rebuild the whole thing, they are already paying insurance, that money is gone, and they don't even have a house because rest of them cannot have it.
So if the building gets red tagged and no one can live there, then the insurance policy would still pay for you to live somewhere else, so you won't be responsible for those expenses.
Like for 10% people who have already paid the insurance.
Right.
If you have your own earthquake insurance policy,
Yes.
and you live in a community that has significant damage, and because a majority of the homeowners don't have earthquake insurance and don't have $100,000 lying around. By the way, it doesn't have to be $100,000, it could be $20,000, right? Whatever it is, whatever it is. But if they can't afford to do it, they're gonna default. The HOA is gonna take possession of their property, they're gonna sell it so they can repair the building. I mean, eventually, I would think the building is gonna get repaired, right? One way or another.
What benefit these people who have insurance get?
They have insurance. The benefit is that you're protecting the interior of your unit, your personal property, potentially your loss of use, and the loss assessment.
Yeah.
Wait,
and
hold on.
it-
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I mean, I have earthquake insurance. I know that if my building gets destroyed, I'm gonna have a place to live. And I'm gonna be covered for any money that the HOA needs to rebuild.
For how long you will be living in somewhere else?
That depends on what the policy is for loss of use.
Yeah, I mean, you can put in whatever limit you want. The intention of the policy is to protect you for what's reasonable, however long you reasonably need to be outside of your home.
Isn't that nice though, to know that in an earthquake you have a place to live? If you can't live in your unit?
While you're still paying your mortgage, because you don't get mortgage relief just because you can't live there.
And we don't have any like state or federal law that kind of jumps in a situation where there's no.
I mean, historically, FEMA has offered relief, but I'm not sure that we should, I'm not sure that we should count on past performance as an indicator of future results, as they say in the financial industry. Especially with the current administration. Did I say that out loud?
You need a mic?
Let's suppose your house or your condo apartment has some really beautiful stuff in it that you've spent $50,000 amassing over the time you've lived there. That would not be covered in an earthquake on your regular home insurance policy, but it
Right.
would be if you have the earthquake policy.
Right.
And since we're likely to have earthquakes,
Yeah.
it seems like if the insurance is a reasonable price, seems like a good thing.
Yeah.
to have.
Stephen, you might want to, you might want to explain the difference in coverage between a single-family home, a condominium, and a PUD.
Okay. So, from a coverage perspective, the policies are identical. They're gonna protect the insured from the same causes of loss: fire, wind, lightning, smoke, hail, liability, water losses, theft of personal property, something falling on the property. There's coverages that are included in there that don't really apply to California, like volcanic eruption. It'll cover a vehicle damaging the structure of the building. Those covered causes of loss are the same. The primary difference between a condo policy and a policy for a single-family residence, or a duplex, or a triplex, or a quad, is that the single-family detached structures, or duplexes, triplexes, quads, include coverage for other structures, which is defined as anything that's permanent and detached from the structure, from the main dwelling. So, detached garage, perimeter fencing, retaining walls, swimming pool, pergola, gazebo are the most common ones. Other than that, there's dwelling coverage, which is applicable to both. There's personal property coverage, which is applicable to both. There's loss of use, which is applicable to both. And there's liability protection, which is applicable to both.
Well, I'm talking even more between the difference between a house and owning a condo. As far as what is physically covered under a condo policy is different than what's physically covered under a home policy or even a PUD.
You mean because there's a master?
Because of what you own.
Keep going, keep talking.
Okay, well, a condo policy.
Steve Pierce, everybody.
Condo policy covers for the unfinished
Yes.
Wall, it's called a walls-in policy.
Okay.
The HOA covers
The
building.
anything common, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But with a PUD, that's not a condominium. The policy is walls in, but it's covering your
Covers
share
the
of
structure.
walls and the roof as well.
That's where you're going with that.
That's where I was going with that.
Thank you, Steve.
Because of the question that was asked.
Yeah.
About, you were explaining the coverage for the contents inside the unit.
Yes. Yeah, so,
Because that's what a condo policy covers.
and by the way, there's often confusion when you get into the CCNRs. I've seen CCNRs recently that are very old, that were not written very well. That in the CCNRs, it says that the HOA is required to have a policy that includes walls-in coverage. And that gets very confusing for people, because people think that everything that happens inside their unit is covered by the HOA's policy, and that's not how it works. Because you can't insure property that you don't own. So the HOA's master policy isn't gonna be responsible for your personal property unless the loss was covered by that policy and damaged your property. So like a burst pipe inside a common wall, right? But if the unit owner has a kitchen fire that destroys their unit or damages their unit, the HOA's master policy isn't gonna respond to that because it happened inside the privacy of your own unit. You need to have your own insurance for that.
Yeah, I've had.
Clear as mud, right?
I've had that exact situation in a closing in Mullen Creek in December.
Uh-huh.
That, in fact, the CCNRs went so far as to tell the homeowners to not get the coverage because it was gonna create coverage issues later on in the event of a claim. Oh yeah, it was
I got into it.
back and forth and around before finally, everyone agreed on what was, what was what.
I was, our client was purchasing a TIC in the city. This was last week or the week before. And we reviewed the CCNRs, and they were just very poorly written. It was very confusing. They were written in a way where if there was any type of dispute, the only winner was gonna be the attorneys that got to fight about it, right? And the listing agent introduced me to the attorney that wrote the CCNRs. And I expressed my concerns about the language, and he dug his heels in, and he said, I've done this 40 times and I've never gotten these questions before. And my first question was, you've done this once and you've sold it 40 times. and you did it once and you didn't do it right, but anyway. Okay. Anytime you have any questions about anything insurance, that's what we're here for. If you don't know, Greystone Insurance is a partnership with KW Advisors. And we were created very specifically to help KW Advisors agents and their clients with insurance needs. So when do you contact Greystone Insurance? If you think that the cost of insurance is going to be a limiting factor in whether your client can write an offer, send us an email, kwadvisors@greystoneinsured.com. All we really need is the address in a day or two, and we should be able to tell you if the property that your client is considering is going to cost $200 or $300 a month, or maybe it's going to cost $800 or $900 a month. It might make a difference in whether or not they can write an offer. And if you're just doing listings, we believe that having an insurance proposal as part of your listing presentation will help separate you from your competition. It's also a great tool, I'll get out of the way, it's also a great tool to help shape the conversation with your sellers about how much they think they can get for the home. Because if they've been renewing that same insurance policy for 20, 25 years, they might not know how the insurance landscape has changed over the last 3 or 4 years, and that the policy that they've been renewing for $2,000 a year might actually cost the buyer $6,000 or $7,000 a year, might actually change what they can get for the home. Cool.
And you may be able to provide coverage when the carrier that the buyer is calling is not providing a quote.
Yeah. We're brokers, absolutely. And also, insurance is not transferable, so the seller can't transfer that policy to the buyer, and the insurance company really has no incentive to continue those rates because they know they're probably going to get higher rates when they write it as new business.
A lot of the times, your buyer might even ask, like, what is the seller paying for their insurance? It's completely irrelevant at this time. it's not transferable, and they probably grandfathered in, and that insurance company most likely is no longer writing new policies in.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, potentially.
Anyway, I'm hanging out for a little bit after the meeting. If you want to talk about more insurance, why would you want to talk more than this? Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, just listed, our listings that's on the market. Williams Suite has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Moraga for $799. Carl has a Union City condo for $470. Steve, you wanna talk about yours?
Yeah, this is a new listing that came on 3 weeks ago. This is in Rosemont. This is one of the most desirable neighborhoods in Newark. So if you've got a buyer looking for a 4-bedroom. The other feature of this is it does have 1 bedroom and a full bathroom downstairs. You get a lot of requests for that.
Steve.
This is one of 3 lots that I have up on Morrison Canyon Road. If you have a client wanting to buy land and build a new home, then this is an excellent opportunity. There aren't many lots like this available in Fremont. So there's 3 of them.
It's only zoned
If
to
you're
build
wondering
residential?
Where I got, I'm sorry?
It's only zoned to build as residential?
It's zoned open space, so a residential home has to be built subject to what's called a conditional use permit,
Mhm.
which means you have to go through the planning commission, public hearings. It's a longer process than just applying for a building permit if you have a residentially zoned property.
Do you wanna elaborate what the open space stands for?
I'm sorry?
Do you wanna elaborate on what open space zoning is for?
Open space generally, there's a lot of permitted uses under open space. Most people think of it as agricultural, and that's one of the most common, is it's agricultural for cattle grazing, that sort of thing. But there are other uses that can be permitted with a conditional use permit. The most common being residential. You couldn't build a single family home with a condition, with a CUP.
Abby's listing in Hayward.
A few times.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll
Still
not
have
see it
that
next,
listing?
hopefully we'll not see it next week. We'll see.
How's traffic, is it?
Well, I didn't do this weekend. The traffic was all right, surprisingly. This was our, I think, 4th weekend.
I was just gonna say, it's just, I was thinking earlier, I think back to when I started the business. The first 3 years I was in business, 90, 91, 92, the market was just tanking. And we would, every week we'd have a meeting, we'd go through our entire inventory every week. And it just, the same listings, just week after week, month after month after month. And I was sitting there thinking, this probably sounds kind of unusual to keep hearing about the same listings after 2 or 3 weeks. But trust me, 2 or 3 weeks is not very long at all. We're spoiled, here. But, I can remember going, listings for months and months, even going on to over a year, where the agents still had the same listings. We're still talking about the same ones. You just kind of reminding everybody, oh, you still got that one, you still got that one, because it took a long time to sell.
And last week I was having conversations with agents about hosting open houses or having open houses. Believe it or not, these listings, even though they've been on the market for a while, they're great to host open houses for. The comments that I've gotten was that there's less traffic now because it's been sitting on the market for the buyers. However, you're not hosting the open house strictly for the buyers. It's a listing opportunity. It's an opportunity to go talk to the sellers nearby.
Right now, Livermore has some really strict rules on signage.
Mhm.
So before you start doing them over there, find out what the signage is.
Yeah. You can find out the rules on Bay East. They
I don't
usually-
know.
I expect
Yeah.
they know.
I
Yeah,
guess they're
they do. Yeah.
Wonder if Bay East
If
knows.
you go into the,
Sign coordinates,
site,
yeah.
you get the community information,
Mhm.
and then there's a drop down, and it'll have the open house ordinance for each city. Yeah. I mean, Fremont and Newark are drastically different.
Every city's gonna be different. So before you host open houses, just make sure you check that. Apartments in Livermore. Ron's in Fremont and Deerwood. Oh, yeah.
That one's 49999.
The most expensive condo in Fremont.
He's getting lots of traffic. I expect it to go pending pretty soon.
Oh.
Lots. I bet he's getting 5 showings a day.
What's the price tag?
49999.
Yeah.
500,000.
Is this the Meadowbrook one?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep, it's the cheapest 2-bedroom, 2-bath around.
That's it for today. Yes.
Can I mention one of my listings?
Oh, absolutely.
I have a new listing just signed up last week. It's a lease listing in Hayward. It's at 2409 Watson Street, Mission and Tupelo, a very busy area. It's a corner lot, about 40,000 square foot lot, lots of parking there. And the building is about 7,700 square foot for lease. This is all for lease. They're asking only $1.25 per square foot. The corner lot, very busy area. Thank you.
And for those of you who don't know, Aziz handles all the
Aziz,
commercial.
share with them, what's the typical lease rate right now? $1.50, $1.75?
To be honest with you, with this guy, when I took the listing, I told him, let's put on market for 75 cents a square foot. And first he said, let's do $1. Then he said, no, I want to put $1.25, so I have room to negotiate.
Okay.
And plus, this owner, I worked with him before, he keeps his properties in really, really good condition. Right now, it's not in good condition, but he's already working on it. I went there a week later, they were working on landscaping, completely redoing the landscaping. Inside also, he's gonna fix it all up. He likes to have his buildings in tip-top condition. He maintains-
Likely user.
Likely users, as you know, it all depends on the zoning. So it could be, industrial is not allowed. Most people would like to use it in industrial, but retail with industrial will be fine. Medical will be really good. Pet-related businesses, those will be good. Even community, churches or any community organization, which are usually really hard to get zoning, but this allows it because there's so much parking. And so, or some big restaurant have some outdoor space and or event, even in the event center. So it all depends on zoning, lots of allowable.
Now, those of you who are residential agents are probably wondering, why should we even know or even care about this? Do you go to your doctor for appointments? You go to your dentist? You go to your CPA? You go to your insurance agent? Very possible that many of the professionals you visit are leasing the office they're in. They don't own it. So while you're sitting in a chair, trying to be able to talk to them, as a dentist, you should ask them, hey, how's business? How long have you been here? Do you own or lease this office? If they say they lease it, I said, well, have you ever considered buying your own building? Now, you get the lead, you can refer it to Aziz, and he'll pay you a referral fee.
We get referral fees. And also, it's not only these professionals that you're talking, even your regular clients, they all, not all, most of them work someplace or they own a business.
Exactly.
They have some commercial property. So they are either leasing, they're buying, they're selling, they need to go to a smaller space, they want a bigger space, they want to move, those kind of things. Anything to do with commercial over the medium.
I'm just trying to give them the low-hanging fruit, okay? It's just, you don't have to go out of your way, just deal with the people that already know you, okay?
Thank you.
And then there's also, and you know, there's not, it's not just buildings that they can buy, that they could buy commercial condos too.
They're
Just like
commercial
regular condos,
also.
but it's just buy their
Yeah,
condo
you
space.
can buy a commercial condo. I'm working with a orthodontist right now that's considering an office condo here in Fremont. And it's probably not gonna be more than about $1 million just for that office condo.
And these days, the overall prices are lower than it used to be. Like this property would have definitely been like $3 a square foot. Now we are talking about $1.25 a square foot. It would probably be leased for $1.50 or something. Same thing, the purchasing also, the values have really come down substantially. We have a church in Oakland, really beautiful. If you know Rockridge area, it's right in Rockridge. Best neighborhood in Oakland. They have been trying to sell it for the last 3 years, and your friend and church guy is was selling it, listing expired, so we got the listing. They had it on market for $3 million. We had received an offer for $1.7 million, but they wanted 2-year close. The seller just sent me a message saying that if we get an offer for $1.5 million, bring us, and we will negotiate with them. So we didn't think they would come down that much, but they wouldn't, because the market is so tough. So any buyer, tenant, this is a good market for them for commercial.
You never know when that conversation pops up. You're gonna talk about real estate and they're like, oh, do you do commercial? You don't, but at least you have some basic information and you know people that does handle commercial. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you. Oh, wait. Raffles. Oh, you already did, okay.
Hey, let's go to my office.
Yeah.